By the way, Chessbase was very slow for searching games.
Did you take any coaching for chess ever in your life?
Not really. I mean, so I had no guidance. So almost
Okay.
every single time when I had a hard chess problem, I couldn't solve it easily. So, for example, I would have a problem in a certain opening, maybe when I was, let's say, 2000 or 2100, and it would take me 6 months to solve the problem because I didn't know how to solve the
Okay.
problem.
Yeah.
Computers were, like in 2007, computers weren't that good.
Yeah.
They could
Weren't that
help
good.
you, but they couldn't solve your opening problems the way you wanted to. I didn't have a database. I didn't have Chessbase. I didn't have really any good way to navigate. And by the way, Chessbase was very slow for searching games compared to now. Now it's so fast, but 13 years ago it was just a different thing. So yeah, I mean, what I would say is that it was very hard to solve problems, and so one of the things that I did in the two books I wrote, Applying Logic in Chess and Chess Logic in Practice, is I really talked about the types of problems I experienced when I was playing, for example, my first games against grandmasters that I hadn't seen that much discussion about, and that I thought were really interesting topics and interesting things that I wish I had learned about, that I wish I had known a long time ago. So I was trying to give as much useful information. So I had it was my birthday when I was, I don't know, 14, and I got one lesson with a grandmaster, and it was extremely expensive, and we didn't really go over anything. We just played some blitz, and he gave me some very
Okay.
simple problems. So it didn't really go how I had wanted it to go, and it was just a birthday present. So it was a one-time
Okay.
thing. I had no tournament games to go over. I had nothing to go over. So I only had one experience, and the problem, at least the problem I experienced in the U.S. at that time, is it would have been great to have had coaching, but if you wanted coaching with a grandmaster, it was really expensive. Even 15 years
Okay.
ago, it was very expensive.
Okay.
By that I mean like $100 per hour with most
Oh.
of the grandmasters.
Okay.
So it's much cheaper in many places in Europe and probably other countries.
Yeah.
I think even I've worked with many Chinese players, and even in China, it's quite a lot cheaper. They can work
Okay.
with strong grandmasters for a lower price. But in the U.S., it's very competitive, so it's not the fault of the teachers. They have so many clients, so many people want to work. I mean, so some people, they live in an area where there's only one grandmaster in the whole state, and
Yeah.
so that one grandmaster can just ask for whatever price he wants because if someone wants lessons, he's the only
Yeah.
GM.
Yes.
So they're in a kind of catch-22 situation because the people who really need the lessons the most usually can't afford it, and so
Yeah.
you'll get some other people taking the lessons who maybe aren't able to benefit as much. But yeah, that made my improvement much harder because I had to learn most of the things just on my own, from my own mistakes and thinking about things and deeply analyzing my games. I would say almost all of what I learned was from playing games, analyzing those games, and studying from books.
Okay. So, as you are a self-taught international master, so what do you think? Chess players really needs mentor, or they can do everything by themselves in current scenario?
Oh, in an ideal scenario, or
Yeah. Yeah. Like in today's time. So, do they really need mentors, or they can do everything by themselves?
well, so I know a player. I know a player who's a little bit under 2,000, and he has a GM coach who's not a top GM coach, but a reliable coach. And since he's able to afford it and do those lessons, it's quite nice. Um, but the thing is, I think nowadays, if you're not able to afford that or not in a financial situation in order to do that, you have a lot more tools available than
Yeah.
in prior generations. So
Yes.
nowadays, I think that the tactics servers on sites like chess.com and chess tempo and other sites are very good. I think Chessbase is excellent. And I just so the way that Chessbase, I mean, I remember a long time ago, Chessbase used to cost something like $250 or $300. But now, if you buy it on the discount day when it comes out every couple of years, um, you can get it, I think, 25% off, and you get 3 activations. So I use
Okay.
it on 2 laptops and a desktop, or two desktops and a laptop or whatever. And so for me, that only is $25 per activation. So that's actually quite cheap for such a good program. And it used to be unaffordable. So I find Chessbase to be quite affordable, and I just save all my stuff on there. So I have my tournament games on there, all organized. I have my openings on there. I have my training material. I have everything I have some positional play databases, some tactical play databases, some attacking and defending databases. So I have everything just kind of nicely organized in one place, and that makes it so convenient because if I want to go study something, I just can find it easily. And if I'm giving a lesson and somebody asks me about a topic, I can almost always open up the database and just drop in some interesting examples on chess.com or lichess. So I think people are in a very good situation nowadays to be able to do a lot more on their own because, when you see how strong Stockfish and Leela are, they're so incredibly strong that you can get good, you might not get perfect answers, but you can get good ideas in almost any position. And one thing that I do, let's say there was an opening that I found really annoying. Somebody played some blitz game against me and they played a really annoying variation. I'll just set up the position in like Fritz 17 to play some training games. And I'll just play a blitz game against Stockfish or Leela and have them play the other side. So I'll play the annoying moves and I'll see how they play against it. And oftentimes you can get really good information from that. You go, oh, Leela did this. Oh, Stockfish did that. That looks pretty good. Yeah. So you solve your own problems really quickly this way. And a lot of what you're doing when you're analyzing is getting ideas. You're just getting more and more ideas. And then when you're playing a game, if you have lots of ideas to kind of reach into your mental bag and, reach into your mental toolkit you can do so much. So I think nowadays people can really learn a lot on their own. Are in a much better situation than one generation ago.
Yeah.